Tassels are popping out everywhere and corn fungicide time is quickly approaching. Leaf diseases take away yield by disrupting photosynthesis. After silking, a corn plant's main priority is producing starch to fill the kernel, and at that time of year, the canopy is so thick that the plant is relying heavily on the top few leaves to intercept sunlight so that photosynthesis can happen. This is why tar spot has been such a huge yield robber, because it can cause that upper leaf tissue to die rapidly if a field is not treated with a fungicide. A fungicide app can also protect us from gibberella ear rot, that pink mold we sometimes see later in the season that produces mycotoxins like Dawn. Gibber prefers cool, wet conditions after silking, and we don't see it every year, but it was a big problem in 2018 and 2023. We have to make a decision about spraying a fungicide preventatively long before we can scout for either leaf diseases or ear molds. I suggest prioritizing fields with disease history, fields that are corn on corn, and high yield environments, because both tar spot risk and gibberella ear rot risk are positively correlated with yield potential. In case you haven't heard, we just registered a new high rate of Delero Complete on corn. It's awesome because it allows us to target both tar spot and Dawn in one application with one product. So our old labeled rate for Delero Complete in corn was 30 acres per jug for leaf diseases, and you would top up with a half rate of Proline at silking if you were wanting protection from gibberella ear rot as well. You can now spray just Delero Complete at R1 at the 20 acre per jug rate and get protection from leaf diseases like tar spot as well as gibberella ear rot. You can still top up with a quarter rate of Proline if you're in a super high disease pressure situation where you always have Dawn issues. However, my recommendation for most of our area is just Delero Complete at the 20 acre rate, because it will give us tar spot protection and a sufficient level of Dawn protection for the level of pressure that we usually experience in most of central Ontario. Spraying at R1 when there's lots of moist silks visible outside the husk will give you the most consistent chance at a positive return on investment, and it's the best time to spray for tar spot and Dawn management. You can spray earlier or later and it will still be effective for leaf diseases, but you'll miss the window for gibberella ear rot suppression. And if you're spraying Delero Complete, it just makes sense to utilize that prothioconazole to make sure you're managing Dawn in case we do get the right weather conditions for disease development. I've had a few questions this year about doing 2 applications of Delero in corn to protect from tar spot. Doing 2 applications has rarely been found to be economical, even in a super high disease pressure scenario, so it's not something I would recommend for our area at this time. When we updated the label to add the high rate, we also added the option to use a non-ionic surfactant in corn, which was previously not on label. So I've had a lot of questions about that this year. The reason to not use an NIS is the risk of arrested ear development if you're spraying too early before tassel, but it does improve coverage, which is important for leaf diseases like tar spot, so it can give you a yield advantage in a high disease pressure situation. Using an NIS is not something I would recommend for our area this year because 1, corn staging is all over the place, 2, the corn is stressed, so your risk of crop injury is higher, and 3, we just don't have enough disease pressure in the area that the potential benefit outweighs the potential risk, at least at this time. Delero Complete is rainfast in 1 hour. Coverage is super important. We recommend 20 gallons per acre and an ultra coarse nozzle at a medium high pressure to make sure you're penetrating into the canopy as much as possible. Scan the QR code on the top of your box for more application info.